Hello, Toy Collector fans. Universal Toy Collector here, and welcome to the channel. And welcome to my childhood toy memories. Okie dokie then. So we are back yet again for another episode of my childhood toy memories. The series where I get to speak to you, members of the toy collecting and YouTube communities, about your childhood toy memories, the toys that you had as a kid and you have them now in your current day collection. And we want to find out all about those memories and stories. So joining us this week is a man who has many toys. He is a man who is friends to many. It's Scuba Pete. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you, dude?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate you jumping on and doing this. Now,
Oh, happy
it's
to.
been a while since we've had a proper one-to-one conversation, so
It
I'm
has
really looking forward to this.
it's been a hot minute. Yeah.
It
I,
has.
I
It
I'm
has.
glad we scheduled this.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And what I see, the thing is, you've kind of thrown me because the other guests that I've had on this series so far have provided pictures, and we've got like, you know, slides to come up, and I have no idea what you're going to be showing tonight. So I am eager
Slide
to find
schmide. We're
out.
going for the actual toy.
We're going for the actual toys, yeah. Awesome stuff. So, Scoob, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can work this out. I'm gonna no, I can't work that out. What am I doing? That's not a great start. What is going on? What the hell
Oh boy, here
is
come the
happening
F
here?
bombs. I've been here
No, oh,
before.
there you go. There you go. This is what I'm looking. This is what I'm looking for. So let's just swap over. There you are. Scuba. The
Yes.
floor is yours, my friend. What is your first
All
toy
right.
and childhood toy
So
memory?
I am going to go with something I did not have, but would have had I stayed with GI Joe. I was
Right.
moving into cars and girls, and so
Yeah.
this was offered up like in 1993, 94. I graduated high school like 91, so
Okay.
and I got this just a couple months ago. But
Oh
this is
wow.
n- basically create a cobra, name a cobra, mail
Okay.
away that you could
Wow.
do, and because it's the 90s, it's neon pink, which
Yep.
is just bonkers,
There's
but
the
I love
color.
it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I threw discus in a pair of hot pink shorts. If you're ever on trivia, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what to
yeah.
say
I
about
mean,
that.
it was the 80s and 90s. It was day
That's
glow
fair enough.
everything,
That's all the excuse you need. It was the 80s
right?
and 90s.
And so it did come with that Cobra sticker sheet. It is missing one single Cobra sticker to be
Yeah.
100% complete, but
Wow.
he came with a
Wow.
little a black figure stand and a silver rifle. But it's just so bonkers. I know I would have sent that off, uh, you know, done the offer, the little mail
Yeah.
away uh pouch that he always got, like with different vehicles and figures. And yeah, I would have had this guy if I was a
S
little younger.
so you remember seeing this as a kid then, or when in
Well, it
your
was
youth?
just not this particular one, because again, I was, you know, on into college.
Yeah.
But I loved mail away offers, be it was on the cereal box, it didn't matter. I always thought that was just such a cool thing
Yeah.
growing up, uh, in the 70s, 80s, because we were just, you're pouring your cereal, and on the back of the cereal box, it's like, oh, you save enough box tops you can mail in, or there's a prize inside this actual box, like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
let's have a bigger bowl. But
So with that one then, when you saw it and it was available and obviously when did you pick that up, do you say?
I got that just a few months back at a local GI Joe show, and
Wow. So what was the feeling when you saw that? Was it a case of, right, this is, I missed out on this as a kid. I'm definitely getting this for my
yeah,
collection.
and even to make it even more complex of a pickup, a dear friend, he first picked it up and went. I was on the other side of the room, and he went, "Hey, Pete, look at this!" And I was like, "I'm like, holy crap!" And so I made a beeline, right across the room,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Look at that!" And I'm like, "Create a Cobra." Oh, so you would you would get to name him, and you would get a like basically customize. You could customize his file card was
Yeah.
the shtick to get him,
Wow.
and so my buddy looks at it, and I'm kind of like looking at him, and he sets it back down, and I'm like, as you know, now that means fair play, right? It's
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
longer in your,
Fair and love and
possessions.
toys. Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah, possessions 9/10 of the law. And I'm like, you put that down. He goes, oh yeah. And I'm like, and I'm picking it up. And I was like, I will take that. And they were like, no, you're not. And I'm like,
Wow.
yes, I am.
Wow. Well, and did it give you that? Did it give you? I mean, obviously you're excited, so I'm guessing there was a good old buzz when
Oh
you
yeah. Oh, that,
picked that
yeah,
up and
that
stuff like that.
endorphin
Yeah.
rush. And it's, we're not going to go into price, but that is not a cheap find these days.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
but the price was very palatable, shall we say.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole rest of the day, I was running into people, and they were like, "Hey, show me the cobra." And I was
Oh
like,
wow.
"How the heck did you find out?" And he was like, "Everybody's talking about it at the, this local show." So I was like, "All
Wow.
right." And they're like, "Oh,
So I'm assuming that there was a connection there. Because I mean, there must have been. Otherwise, you wouldn't have picked it up. Do you know what I'm saying? And I mean, so was there a connection there?
it's the fact that Cobra, I always thought was crazy, way cooler than GI Joe. Don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
love my Flint and all that, but they're pretty
Yeah.
straight laced as heroes go.
Yeah.
But I just like the zaniness that Cobra was willing to, all the plans, mass device or pyramid of darkness, like they're Cobra Commander's going for broke. Serpentor's, gonna try to, we're gonna take over Washington, DC,
Yeah.
like willing to put it out on the line all the time. And the fact that this guy is just wacky pink just feeds that whole, like, even in Cobra, they were like, you know what? On the battlefield, I'm wearing pink.
I mean, why not? I mean,
Like,
to be fair, it's the first time I think I've ever. Well, it's not the first time I know that I've seen that figure. So that is insane. Was he in any like? He wasn't in any TV series, was he, or comics
no,
or anything
uh-uh.
like that? It was just a. It was a gimmick.
Yes, very much a gimmick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, like you say, it's that mail away. I mean, we
Yeah.
had them in the UK, but I don't think they were as popular in the UK as they were in the US. I could be wrong. I don't know many people that got mailaways in the US. I mean, I think we had Near Numb. I think we had the Emperor, Palpatine, and I think there
Hmm.
was a couple of others for the Star Wars stuff. When it comes to GI Joe, I don't think there were that many mailaways at all, really. So, I mean, that was a big thing
I
back
think
in
because
for the
Joe
States.
was introduced, the GI Joe that we knew, the 3 3/4, introduced so
Yeah, yeah.
late. It was 87, I think, when they started to come out in earnest as international heroes over there. That, yeah,
Yeah,
I think a lot of that mail away stuff had kind of, yeah, we did that over in the US. We had mail away
yeah,
Sergeant Slaughter, uh, Steel Brigade.
yeah.
That's quite the pricey do to find because he comes in, I think there's 5 different letter versions of him, if I
Oh,
remember right.
wow.
And
Yeah,
some are more common than others. And did you get the patch with it? It was really, Hasbro was firing on all cylinders.
yeah.
Um, and I know I've heard Kurt Bazigian, who was the director of Boys Toys for a while. He was like, we knew how to push that whole thing with like mailaways, and hey, we're gonna add, you know, it's not gonna be just a figure. You're
Yeah.
gonna, like Steel Brigade, you're gonna get this patch. You
Oh,
can put that
wow.
on your jean jacket if you wanted to. That
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff. Like what?
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, seeing that figure as well, I think that very much sums you up, Pete, because you do like the sort of like the loud, the unusual type
yeah,
of figures, don't you?
very
Because
very much so.
you've got a lot of those um knockoff Motu figures as well, haven't you, as
A
well at
slew
the moment?
of
Yeah.
Motu knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I live in Motu knockoff land. In fact, within reach, there's Fuerza T from
That's it.
Argentina.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
know,
it.
just the crazier the better these days. And I think that's it's a product of my own collecting. The
Yeah.
fact that I've gotten the majority of the vintage line that was offered here in America, or it's if we switch over to Palatoy slash Action Force GI Joe, I've with the help of you and so many others,
Yes.
that collection is massively represented, and it's like, what's crazy, wacky, fringe,
Yeah.
outer periphery stuff?
Has that always been the case with that way of thinking when it comes to figures, or is it just as you've got older? I mean, when you were younger, was it just like, I'm not say straight laced, but your run of the mill action figures, like your normal standard GI Joe figures, and even then, did you go for those wackier colors, those wackier kind of figures? Or was it just, when you started, when you
I
grown up and stuff like that, and grown up and no one grows up, but
mm,
as you get older, you sort
yeah,
of like get back into collecting more, don't you, and stuff like that? Is it ever since then?
I think it's more since getting back
Recently, yeah,
into it, but
yeah,
I mean, I was always, I do, as anything for a laugh, zany, whatever. So there was, there was always that bit. Um, but again, just like, as far as like cool, gimmicky, weird stuff, you
yeah,
got like Mosquitor that pumped the blood, you know,
yep,
in the
yep,
Motu line. But again, that was late enough in the line that I wasn't paying attention to it anymore. I was head over heels into Space Lego.
yeah. Wow,
It's that whole childhood brain where you're switching gears.
yeah,
Uh, yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's an interesting because, yeah, like I say, I find that really interesting because that's the first time I've ever seen that particular type of figure. I mean, I know around the 90s that things
yeah,
were sort of like getting
yeah.
really
Everything
sort of
was
like
getting
loud.
really
Yeah,
bizarro.
yeah.
Trying
Because
to
it
make
was
sure we don't.
were they the Eco Warriors or something along
Oh
those lines?
yeah, yeah,
The real bright colors, yeah.
yep, yeah. The yellow and the oh yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, easy,
Hey,
easy, trying to
easy,
escape.
easy.
Oh, get back in there.
Wow.
Woohoo! Almost had an incident.
I started sweating.
Right. Ooh.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
yeah, the neon green and yellow,
Yeah,
just to really like fly in your face, and then just the wackiness of Echo Warriors, because we're now into like Captain Planet Day, and Earth
yeah,
Day is
yeah,
a thing, and so it's like,
yeah,
how can we adapt? Well, let's talk about the planet, and let's do crazy colors. Like
yeah.
what can we hold on to get these kids to buy
Because you've
our.
got that fascination with the crazy colors and stuff like that, are you ever sort of like tempted to go back and get those Eco Warriors from G.I. Joe, the really bright, leery, colorful ones, or do they not really sort of resonate too much with you
No,
in that kind of?
I yeah, there's several that I wouldn't mind finding, and then of
Yeah,
course the Toxo Lab, which was a
right.
Cobra, you know, bad guy hideout with
Yeah,
again those bright colors. That is a fair due to find. I mean, it is not a cheap set, and it goes
yeah.
for $400 or $500, and it won't even be complete.
Wow.
But it is,
Wow.
I don't know, there's something about that set that I love. I saw it up at in Cincinnati a couple years ago, and it
Yeah.
was incomplete, and I was like, for as most people are like, oh my god, no, and I'm like, but it's so bad it's cool.
Oh dear. Awesome. Awesome. So that is toy number one.
Uh-huh.
What do you have for toy number two? Again, I have no idea what you're going to be showing.
I love
So
this. This
this
is
is,
great.
yeah.
All right, so for toy number two, I have Lego set 6950,
Oh,
the rocket launcher, and this is 82, or I
wow.
should say rocket
Look
transport.
at this. Do you know what? What I love, because I remember the space Lego, it was so basic,
Yeah,
but how
but
cool does
kick
that look?
butt, right? And then the whole, let's do it. Come on, baby.
Oh, look at this.
Ooh,
Oh my days.
prepare for launch.
Wow.
So, this is not my childhood
Yeah,
one. I do have this set. Literally,
yeah,
it exists in my giant pile of Lego, that's in a laundry basket, and
yeah.
so I still have the build instructions for this from when I was a kid. But
Wow.
I bought this off a dear friend, and it was so much fun to get it. in a Ziploc bag and build it again
Yeah. I bet
as an
that must have
adult.
taken you right back to your childhood. I mean,
Oh, right
those
back.
feelings
Oh my
must have,
god,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah, this was like, got up one morning and brewed up some coffee and just sat there and pieced this guy together. And it's so cool because it's the way the
yeah, yeah,
engineering that they did on it is just kick
yeah.
ass.
That is awesome. I mean that, yeah, I'm beaming just looking at that. I mean,
Right?
how cool does that look? Again, so basic and simple, but it
Yeah.
just
Yep. You
wow,
got like, I'm gonna make the rover and we're preparing for launch.
that is
I
incredible.
mean, look,
That is
all the
incredible.
little steering wheels, from what were like
Yeah.
just car sets, and it's like, well, we'll make them gray, and now there's space.
Would you say that as you had that as a child, you know, you physically own that, would you say you've got more of a connection to what you've got in your hand now than your previous the G.I. Joe figure?
Definitely,
Yeah?
definitely, yeah. We're upping the ante here.
Okay.
Um, Knowing, like I said, I could dig through all my parts. It would take days to find all the
Yeah,
parts and
yeah.
build it, But yeah, I can go pull my instruction sheets. I kept all those diligently as a
That's
Lego child builder. So
so what was the the thing is, what was your thought process behind keeping all those instructions?
I I mean I was a very anal retentive OCD kid when it came to my
Okay.
Lego. Like
Yeah.
it didn't go out in the yard. I would travel with it. Like my mom was the secretary for our church long, long ago, and so um, summers when we weren't in school, obviously she's still volunteering and doing that position.
Yeah.
And so my brother and I would, because we would be up there, for like 6, 7 hours easy.
Yeah.
We would take our giant uh, satchel of Lego and go to like the little rec multi-purpose room and lay
Yeah.
it out, and just
Wow.
build and build and build and build. And but these sets, like I wouldn't take these up, out of the house. These would
Yeah.
stay
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
home in their place of honor on the crater plates, which
Yeah.
I still have, in
Oh.
their setup. Yeah.
I mean, do you remember the day you got that as a child, that set?
This probably would have been a birthday gift,
Yeah.
back in the day, because this was 82. So
Yeah.
I was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a birthday gift, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, when you got that gift, you opened it up and it was that. I mean, would that have been something that you would have been expecting as something that you'd asked for, or was that just totally random and
No, that
unexpected?
would be just like unexpected and voila. I'm actually trying. I know I need to get more organized. I swear somewhere is my, like, I took a picture with my little Kodak camera back in the day of my
Okay,
little
yeah.
like Lego base
Yeah.
setup on the
Yeah.
playroom table. And God, oh, I really wish I'd, where are you? No, that's me building GI Joe
Oh,
Christmas.
wow.
That's the
Okay.
dragonfly. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And
What
look
a
at that!
great,
Look
yeah.
at that tape recorder, eh? Pumping
Well,
out
yeah, yeah. You don't see many of
pumping
those
out the
these days, yeah.
tunes on a single
Wow.
speaker. Ooh,
Well,
that it?
you got it?
Please. Yes.
Oh, superb.
Ah, yeah. So this is part of my setup.
Wow. I mean, yeah. I
Isn't
mean,
that cool?
that is very cool. Yeah.
uh,
That is awesome.
so
Wow.
that base, obviously, as sets got added, that went through
Yeah.
lots of changes, but it was always on that table in the playroom, and that's where I would just
Yeah.
go for a Saturday or a after
Yeah.
school.
I mean, I like the way you said that the Lego was never going to go outside the house. I mean, was that the
Mhm.
same with the rest of your toys, or was it just specifically Lego that you thought, no, this isn't going anywhere? This is,
Specifically, Lego did not
yeah.
go out. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm guessing the reason for that is because it's dainty.
Yeah,
It will
so
break. It will lose
dainty
parts. Yeah,
pieces. Yeah, God forbid you lose one of those like little red lasers, uh,
yeah,
off that. You ma- as a kid, that little red laser up on top, I mean, that's
yeah,
like gold.
yeah, yeah.
You're like,
Absolutely.
you can't even get a part. There was no, shop for a part online or anything like that. If you lost that, you're
That was gone. That
screwed.
was
It's
gone. And do you know
gone.
what? I think it's incredible that at the age of 10, you had the sort of like the wisdom and the foresight to know if I take this outside, it could break off, I could lose it and stuff like that. Was with other stuff, like you take your G.I. Joe outside,
Yeah,
your
take your
Star Wars,
Joes
they had
out.
the small guns.
Star Wars.
You wouldn't
Yep.
do you know what? And I'm guessing that never bothered you. You could, you got the
Hmm.
guns, you could lose the guns, you could lose the backpacks.
Right. Very true. But I would, if I went out, like say we were all getting together in the neighborhood and playing Star Wars, like I knew my specific figures that I was taking, and
Yeah,
what gun was theirs, and made sure that I was playing with, and that's kind of how it went. Right, was
yeah,
sort of having a stormtrooper. You brought who you wanted to be, during the play session. And if you did bring your stormtrooper, because we all just had one, unless you were the
yeah.
kid down the street who had five, and the Death Star. I'm talking about you, Terry. um, we all had our moms. I guess they all got together for some meeting and went, "We're going to use fingernail polish." Like that was the accepted thing. So
Yeah. Wow.
once again, the color pink. That's what my Star Wars figures had painted on the bottom, was pink
Oh,
uh,
right, so you
nail
could
polish.
identify
Yep.
them as your
So
wow.
if you brought a stormtrooper, you could sort yours back out,
Yeah.
knowing, hey, no, that's mine. Oh, green, that's yours. Blue, that's
Wow.
yours.
Wow. Wow. Did you see? I wouldn't have thought of that either. That's genius at
And
that age to think like that.
I
It's
think that was more like the like I said, the moms. I feel like they all
oh,
got together, like, those Star Wars figures. We should come up. What if we use nail polish?
yeah, fair play. Fair play. Well, that is item number 2. So what else do you have for us?
Hmm, hmm, hmm. All
Ooh.
right. So number 3, I did not have him as a kid, but I have him now.
Buck
Migo Buck
Rogers.
Rogers.
Wow. Okay.
I got
Awesome.
him because this show just still to this day makes my heart sing.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, in the I scored him at the Great Ohio Toy Show in the spring earlier this
Wow.
year, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact that he wasn't in a sealed box, he didn't have the Migo fade. I'm gonna try to bring him in.
Okay.
He's still
Yeah.
flesh
Yeah.
colored.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is awesome. So
but
you were
oh,
a big fan of Buck Rogers.
huge
I'm
fan.
guessing you had the smaller figure Buck Roger figures as a kid?
I had a couple, but
Yeah,
nothing to amount to anything. It was more a TV event that we
yeah,
just did not miss, and I mean, as a family,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was like
yeah,
must
yeah,
see TV. I
yeah.
I can remember firmly scheduling dinner. Oh, thumbs up.
Oh,
Around, that Buck was getting ready to come on,
yeah.
and my mom, well, still to this day bakes her own bread occasionally, but back then she would be baking loaves upon loaves upon loaves.
Yeah.
Um, so she would get a loaf of hot bread out of the oven, and she would come downstairs with my brother and my dad, and she would bring some homemade jellies that my grandmother always made,
Oh,
and some
wow.
butter, and
Yeah,
she would
yeah.
just saw off pieces of bread, butter them, and then that was like our dessert that night.
Wow.
While we
Yeah,
sat there and
yeah.
watched
Bu
Buck
Buck
Rogers.
Rogers.
Oh,
Wow.
dude,
That
I can taste that strawberry jelly on that
well,
hot
you know what?
bread
It's
right
really weird,
now.
isn't it?
It's
That
just,
that
oh,
figure is bringing back those memories of that TV
yeah.
series. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. obviously you knew this figure existed back in the day?
I don't think I really knew that there was a 12-inch buck.
Yeah.
Uh, everything was typically around us, pegged on card. Um, from Star Wars, you were paying attention
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
3 3/4
Yeah.
scale. So yeah, to find him, as an adult in a 12-inch style and in great shape, I just God freaking love this. I mean, I saw Aaron Gray at Dragon Con a few weeks ago,
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah.
and I next year when I go, I'm definitely getting an autograph because everybody's like, "Oh, you should totally do it because she is so sweet." And I tell you what, she is still hot hottie. I
Oh,
mean, she is
yeah.
wow.
So that figure, what was it about that specific figure that you thought, well, I'm going to bring this from home with me? Was it just purely because of the nostalgia feels behind it, the
Yeah,
memories
definitely
behind that
the
series? Yeah,
feels behind that
yeah.
show, the fact that I still watch episodes. I've got it on Blu-ray. I've got just digital, off of
Oh,
Amazon
yeah,
platform that I can watch.
yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those that um it never left me, Buck.
yeah.
And honestly, I was thinking back the other day to like, modern, or when I kind of reignited uh collecting toys again, and Buck Rogers was the first figures I remember buying off eBay, carded.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and they
Wow,
were like
wow.
$20.
Yeah.
Twiggy, $30.
Wow, that's mental. That's mental. But I love the fact that it's not just the toy that you have a memory of. It's the occasion that you had with that figure. Not say like physically with that figure, but
Hmm.
just having that figure, the emotions that you get and the
Yeah,
memories you get back from, like having
the
family time,
event.
watching the TV
Yeah.
series, the event. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that is awesome. And I think sometimes that kind of gets overlooked. It's
Hmm.
a lot about the toy itself, or this toy meant this to me, and we've got this connection with the toy and stuff like that. But I think it's important that the event that surrounds it, that time and place and stuff like that. I just think that's awesome, man. And I would love to have tried some of that bread and jelly for
Right.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, I'm gonna call her up.
Yeah.
Bring it off
I
here and be like,
need some bread and jelly.
"Mom,
Oh.
could you make some bread?"
Do you find, I mean, I know you've got this 5 that you're gonna be showing us today, but I mean, can you sit and look around your collection? I mean, and it is an impressive collection.
It's everywhere.
Each and every one of those toys that you have in your room bring back a specific memory. I mean, or are some just you've got them because you didn't have as a kid, and you're filling in the gaps for the ones that you didn't have.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely both. But looking around and seeing like above me is the GI Joe box for the tactical battle platform.
Yeah,
Uh, I got that box because A, it's one of my favorite all-time sets of GI Joe.
yeah.
B, I got it for Christmas that year, and I remember building that, and then I took that toy everywhere. I mean, it went on vacations to Minnesota, to the lake,
Well, I
and
mean,
because it was
that's not small either, is it?
no, and it was one of those where like you had to negotiate with dad,
Yeah,
like there's only so much room for packing, you know,
yeah.
as a is available, and you're like, well, see the legs come off, and he's like, okay,
Yeah.
and you're like, sweet.
Oh, man. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, do you think it's important to have a connection with your childhood toys?
I think so. Yeah. Otherwise, it's kind of
What's the point of getting them, I guess,
yeah.
yeah.
What's the point? It's fun just to come down here and sit. Of course, when it's not just a flipping mess. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm surrounded by stuff. Um, but yeah, I think it's fun just to come in here and set and put a movie on or YouTube on the telly, and yeah, just kind of like check it all out. That's for me. That's all part of it.
yeah.
And I've got the Eagle One Space 1999 hanging up
Wow.
there, and
Yeah, yeah.
um, boop,
Wow, look at that.
I can remember buying that at Xenia, Great Ohio.
Yeah.
The fall show a year ago with Michael French. We went and I
Wow.
went, "Oh my god, I've been wanting one
Yeah.
of these." And the guy
Yeah.
doesn't have it priced. So then you got to
Yeah.
do the, "Oh, what is it?" And then its price is like, "Really? Take my money." you know?
And the good thing is as well is, you can sit and reminisce and think back of like fond childhood memories as well. But Leslie is also into collecting, she's got a strawberry shortcake and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So she can get to experience that. So you get to experience Leslie going through those kind of emotions and
I
connections.
really
And
and we because Great Ohio was literally last
yes,
Saturday.
she did well.
Oh my god, she cleaned up. But to hear her reactions, like, so my eyes, I'm looking for what I'm interested in,
Yeah,
right? And of course she's strawberry, strawberry,
yeah,
maybe the odd popple or rainbow bright. But all of a sudden, I'm about ready to move off this table, right? Or this booth, and
yeah,
I hear well, I know that she spotted something like really good and she's starting to, oh, well, I just keep moving like I don't even hear on
yeah,
purpose
yeah.
because I've at that point I had the money. So I'm drifting
Oh,
away and acting like
yeah,
I just to tease her, like I don't hear it. And she goes, freeze. And I was like, huh? And she was like, get back here. And I was like, oh, did you find something good? And she was like, yeah, like you didn't notice. And she found a boxed um 12-inch strawberry blow kiss that you would squeeze and then she would
yeah,
basically poof out
yeah, yeah.
strawberry, you know,
Wow.
and it was the last one that she needed.
Needed to collect the yeah, to get yeah, 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 yeah.
And it
Oh, that's
for her, because she grew up not with a lot of money, like it
yeah,
was a really, 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 really big deal to get a toy or two for Christmas. This for her, the strawberry quest is really about, I never had any of this. It was never in the cards as a
yeah,
kid that this was going
yeah,
to show up. Did I see the commercials? Did I see them in the shops? Yeah, but I knew that's not going to happen. Um, so for her to find these items now, she's just boom, 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 and it
oh,
is
yeah,
all about
absolutely.
the.
I mean, how does that make you feel knowing that she's because
Oh, I love it. It's.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, is that what I sound like when I? Oh, it's a great cobra. you know.
yeah, yeah. No, I love it, and I get the same when Georgie finds something that she really likes and stuff like that. And the thing is, bless her, Georgie, she always has that element of guilt. It's like, well, and I said, well, don't,
Yeah,
just
don't.
don't. Just try it,
Yep.
enjoy it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Leslie's the
yeah,
same way. Yeah, she's
yeah,
like, "Well," not this blow kiss doll, but there was a gift
yeah,
box, and she was like, I might get that later. It might come back." And I was
yeah,
like, "That's not how this show works." I'm like,
yeah.
"It's
Well,
$20. It's
yeah,
weird and rare. Grab it." Okay. And then she's like, "Ooh, look over here. They have the sleepy time ones where their eyes like do the creepy doll, awake, slit
yeah, yeah.
shut."
Is it would you say that's just like a female thing with the guilt? Because
I
I don't
I
know.
think so. I think there's
Yeah.
where we tend to be just very one track minded, like the toy, the toy. Like I
Yeah,
think in their head they've got the bigger picture in mind because they're
yeah,
smarter, they're like the mortgage, the car payment,
yeah,
we have to go to dinner tonight, or we're staying
yeah,
at a hotel. Like it's more than just and we're like,
yeah.
just get it.
Oh, but it is that simple. It really is. And the thing is, I buy stuff and then I think about it afterwards and think, "Rrr." But then again, that doesn't last very long. That doesn't last very long.
No, it's
But
yeah, there's
yeah.
you
Sorry, go
have
on.
that moment of regret where you're like, oh, maybe I
Yeah. And then you're like, "Nah, it's all good. It's
nah,
all good.
there's
It's all nah, nah, it's all right. It's all right."
we get paid
But
in 2 weeks, no problem.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, who
But
doesn't like spaghetti
we've got
every
beef
night?
in the fridge. It's all good. But you say about, you say to Leslie, if you see it, then buy it. It doesn't work like that if you walk off. It's happened to Georgie recently. There was something that she'd seen, And she's
Oh
like,
no.
walked off, then come back, and she'd come back and said it's
Oh,
gone. I said, well, there you
that's
go.
the
But
worst.
yeah, but then Georgie says to me, if you see it, you like it, buy it because you don't know. And I like
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, not as much as you though, Scoob. I mean,
This
good
is
God. So yeah, mad stuff, mad stuff. So that was item number 3. What
it
is number
was.
4?
Number 4 is a Motu. This is a
Oh,
battle ram.
oh,
Again, I got this as a birthday gift back in the day,
look at that.
1981.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I just
Oh,
love the artwork and the
right.
box.
And the
It's
fact
just
that it was in such great nick. I found
yes.
this while I was hunting with Ron about a
Oh,
month ago up in
good old Ron.
Cincy, and the
Yeah.
price was ridiculously nice. And even the guy
Yeah.
was admitting, that's a good price for the shape the box is in. It's almost like he had pricing regret. And I went,
Yeah.
it is, and
Yeah.
I'm taking it. And he was like, oh, it's just so you know, it's missing one missile. And I'm like, that's all right. I've got spares.
But I
So
mean, wow. Look at this.
there goes one of the missiles right now. Ta-da.
Wow.
So this uh, definitely is childhood memories, and
Yeah.
this was my vehicle that I constantly played with when my brother and I, because we did overlap
Yeah.
playtime with Motu. He was always uh, Skeletor, and
Yeah.
I was He-Man and Man at Arms, or Duncan, if you know him like I know him.
Yeah.
But the Sky Sled, the fact that came off, and
How
then the
cool.
base could
Yes, I was
stay,
gonna say the sky snake comes off the
yeah,
front, doesn't it, on
and
that one?
launch.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so good.
Wow.
Box down. Ugh.
And it's in great condition as
Yeah,
well.
this it definitely did not get played with, which is crazy. I mean, I I know I beat mine up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Motu was allowed to go outside.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was big, it was chunky,
It was
but
meant to
so
be
good.
played with, wasn't it? Yeah.
What is my
I mean,
yeah,
that is that
missiles.
is superb. And again, you've got that connection there with that
Yeah.
vehicle.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this was a birthday gift back in the day, and to be able to see that box
Yeah.
again, just oh, it made everything come flooding back.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's,
Absolutely.
you know,
Oh,
like
look at
every
the
great
cloud.
toy line,
Oh my
like,
god.
hey.
Yeah.
And of course, young Pete was like, yes, I would like the Wind Raider, please.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
believe that Christmas I got the Wind Raider.
That's just I
Yeah.
love the boxes, and I love the way they showed the figures that you can get and the
Right.
vehicles and the play sets. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
oh
So
man.
good. And then
And
Grayskull was like a joint Christmas gift for Craig
yeah,
and I.
yeah.
Yep,
I
definitely.
mean, was this something that you knew that you were going to get, or again, was it totally
No,
random and a surprise? Yeah.
this was, a surprise from Santa.
Oh wow. And what was that
Oop.
feeling like when you opened that up and you saw that box? Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
first
yeah.
time you see that box in your
Yeah,
hand.
first time of Grayskull, it was like, oh, and of
Yeah,
course, because nobody cared about boxes, and I say it all the time. That box was probably at the curb in a pile of snow before noon, because we had ripped it open and put it together, and
yeah,
we're playing with
yeah.
it, and mom and dad are like, all right, let's clean up from these yahoos.
It it is interesting to think, that back then the boxes were discarded and not often thought about. Why is it now all of a sudden that it's so important to have that box and keep that box in mint condition,
I
or
know
as
for
good a condition as you possibly can?
I know for me, it's that box art. As an adult, you have a great
Yeah,
appreciation of all art forms, and that is definitely one. Somebody had to sit and design that scene. I mean, it's just like, check
yeah.
that out.
I know, I know.
It's
I've always said, and I will
so
still
good.
to this day say that
So
I
good.
think Motu has by far the best box art and card art there is along in the
Yeah,
toy
even with
world. I really do.
the Origins
Yeah,
line
yeah, yeah,
and how they
yeah,
were, sneaking in, rather than listing, "Hey, here's what's coming next," it was like, "No,
yeah.
we'll just put him as a figure over there on the side, see if everybody notices."
That's but how cool is that? How clever is that?
Right? That I
Because you
like
could be
that because
looking at a
that's like
box
old
art and you could
school.
be yeah, and I
Uh,
guess I'm wondering if they would think, well, people don't really pay too much attention to the boxes themselves, so they're going to see the vehicle, see that, and go, "Oh wow," and rip it open, and not even notice that they're going to be having a new figure coming out shortly in the background there. I wonder how many people actually. I mean, was that something that you noticed?
no, no,
No,
not as a kid. No, no way.
no,
It was all about get that treasure inside.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
slap that Awe Striker together. Castle Grayskull. Let's build that Lego set because I didn't even
yeah,
save the Lego boxes. I
yeah,
did while I was building the initial space sets, but
yeah.
you then my instructions went into a Ziploc bag, and that's why I can still have them
When
today.
when you think about the boxes back in the day, is there a kind of regret that you didn't keep them in good condition?
Oh hell yeah!
Or yeah,
I still have my original Droid Factory box,
yeah,
which was my. I didn't have a figure case, uh,
right,
so if we took stuff to go somewhere, I would just throw it in the Droid Factory box. So that thing is
right,
an absolute beater. I mean, it's just hanging on by threads,
yeah.
the flaps, because it was my defunct
Your carry
carrying
case. Yeah,
case.
yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah.
cram it in there.
Wow. I mean,
So yeah, do
I
I
took
regret?
yeah,
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I'm not spitting tails. I had a vinyl cape Jawa.
okay,
You just didn't.
yeah.
You had no idea that that was like going to be some Uber. Oh my gosh, why would you take that off guard?
But you don't know that at the time. That's the thing, isn't it? I
No
mean, I think
clue.
we've said like loads of times before, if you could go back and stuff like that and, toys were meant to be played with.
Yeah,
I think you'd have to be a bloody genius or a fortune teller to predict the
yeah.
future to know that this stuff is gonna be worth something going forward. It's
Well, and it
easy to
was.
say that now after the event, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I firmly remember tearing the cape. Because you were always monkeying with your toys, and
Yeah,
so when the
yeah,
cape tore, well, now as a kid, you're like, man. And so you like throw the cape away and you're like,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
man, now I have a naked Jawa,
yeah, yeah,
and then they came out with the fabric one and you're like, oh, it's so much better because it looked like what was in the movie.
yeah, yeah. Wow, wow.
Go figure. Yeah, I wish I had that aunt or uncle or my parents were like, well, here's one to play with, and then we're just gonna set aside, like when you hear
Yeah,
those stories, you're like, I don't understand that. Like, how in the way? And they're like, oh, my mom collected
yeah,
vintage depression wear dishes or something. So that collector bug
yeah,
like translated into their childhood toys. No, you're
yeah,
gonna have one to play with, and we're gonna set one aside because
yeah.
one
But
day,
we know it didn't work like that, and it doesn't
no,
work like that,
it
does it? So,
doesn't work like that.
it's, ah, yeah,
And to have a brother
hindsight's
too,
wonderful, isn't it?
right?
But yeah,
So you always prayed you didn't get the same figure because short of a stormtrooper,
yeah.
because you were like, oh
But
man,
then
don't
but
want to
then some
double up.
people did have that kinda, like, thought process. I mean, you've just gotta look at people like Andy and Gary Moore to find that big haul of vintage Star Wars stuff
Right?
that was you know, still
Oh
in the
my
boxes.
gosh.
Some of it's still on the card. Jeff, Barker, he's
Uh-huh.
found those carded original Star Wars figures
Yeah.
as well.
One
So
set
there
we
are
played
some
with, the
people
other
out there
set
that
we
thought
kept.
like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's
I can't imagine taking out my X-Wing, building it, putting the stickers on it, crooked and
yeah,
all, and then putting it, or not even putting the sticker, looking at it and going, "Oh, that's cool," and then sliding
yeah.
it back in a box, being like, "Okay, put that over there."
I mean, I as a kid, if my dad or I'd got any Star Wars stuff for Christmas and it was boxed and no, 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 but I'm gonna open no. Remember what
Yeah.
no,
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 no, you
you
can just look
can't.
at
You
it.
just keep it in the box. well, what's the point?
Be like,
No. Do you
did
know
I
what I
do
mean? I'll be
something
like,
wrong? Am I being
yeah.
punished?
I'll be
Yeah.
like proper sulking. I'll be like, "What
This is
in
the
is going on
worst.
here?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. What toy but the thing is, you know, as we know, back in the day, the toys were meant to be played with, and I think
Very much so.
there's nothing wrong with that, you know? I think that's pretty
Yeah.
cool, and, our appreciation for those toys has remained throughout the years, and because of the reasons of the memories it brings to us and stuff like that, and nostalgia that we feel from it, I think it does probably would you say your toys mean more to you now than what they did as a kid?
Oh yeah, without a
Yeah?
doubt. And I'm even because our kiddo is grown and married, and um,
Yeah.
I realize that at some point there's going to be, as I tell Leslie, a player yet to be named.
Yeah.
A grandkid. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
pressure. We're not that kind of parental
Yeah.
unit. We're like, how come we don't have a grandkid? Nope.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Our my folks didn't do that to us. We certainly wouldn't do that to our kiddo Haley either,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
her husband. So we're like, dude, enjoy being the two of you, but when that player yet to be named is here, I'm already like, ooh, ooh, I want to be the grandpa that's like toy grandpa, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's break out Origins, Eternia, and you know play with it, and it's meant to take a beating. Am I gonna drag the vintage one out? Hell no. But
No.
the but the Origins one,
We
yes.
we know what happens to the vintage one, don't
We
we?
the snap heard around the world.
Yeah, yeah. That's it, the snap that was heard around the world. The
Oh,
cry that
the
was heard
cry,
around the
the
world,
cussing
you
is
know?
still hanging in
It
the
was
air.
like, yeah, yeah. I think when they wrote that scene in Star Wars, it was like a thousand voices suddenly all crying out, then silence. I think that was the
It's very
end.
equitable to that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Oh, brilliant.
oh,
Awesome.
so
So
good.
you've got one more item left to show. So what is it, my friend?
Last but not least, we're going back to what I was talking about earlier with mailaways.
Okay.
And so from 1979, this is my actual
Oh.
mail away Boba Fett. That is him. That is not like one I got. I'm like, this is my childhood
Oh
one.
my
Yeah.
days. Wow.
And
And look at the condition. I mean, it is insane how good a condition he is in. Did
yeah,
you ever play with this figure?
I did inside, but he definitely, since he was a mail away, which in kid world, that made him super special because you couldn't run down to the shop at the time and go
Yeah.
get another. I mean, I know eventually he was on card,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
But
at
at
the
the time you didn't
time,
know. Yeah.
yeah. So
Wow.
he got high on her. So it's like, nope, you shall only be played with on the carpet, and your gun will be tracked just as carefully because God
Yeah.
forbid the
And
sweeper
that's the original gun
suck it
as
up.
well.
That's the original gun.
Oh.
Yep.
So you had no carpet monsters in your place back as a kid?
Well, we did, but I was just like I would scour it because I was like, oh, and being a Lego kid, there was nothing worse than hearing that, like you were like, oh no,
What was that? Yeah,
ah!
yeah,
It
yeah.
was bad enough if Dad stepped on a Lego, but yeah, for mom
Yeah.
to hoover it up, you were like, no.
Yeah. But I mean, when you got that, because it was mail away at the time,
Yep.
you must have felt like the king of the castle because were there many kids that actually got the mail away, or was it just
Well,
as?
we everybody in the neighborhood, yeah, was
Oh, really?
had sent off for them,
Yeah.
and being a silly kid, so you fill out the thing, you mail it off. What do I do? Well, the next day you start checking the mailbox after school to see
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he's
yeah,
there, because
yeah,
in your kid brain, like he should just boop.
yeah. How long did it take for him to actually turn up?
I think that was like 6 weeks or something, which in kid world
Wow.
was like, I don't know,
How?
5 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every day after hop off the bus, I'll get the mail. Oh, skunked again. Very Christmas
So
story.
I want you to relive that moment, the day you came back from school, you jumped off the bus, you opened the mailbox, and you was like,
That little flippin' white box is in there from, I think it mailed, now you see like it mailed from Minnesota or something
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Uh, but the fact that it said Kenner and it was like, yes.
You knew.
I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
know what other mail would have been, with that. I'm sure I probably dropped it on the stoop, as I ran
Yeah, yeah.
downstairs to again rip open the mailer box and the baggie, and
Yeah.
he's here.
That
Yeah,
is
he was just,
awesome.
and because there was no backstory to him, that just made him even more cool than he already
Yeah,
was, not
yeah.
knowing anything about. So you just, you made up
Yeah.
a whole story. Yeah,
Wow.
no
I
disintegration.
mean I mean, he just looks in
Mm.
absolute pristine condition.
Yep.
I mean, with something like that, have you never ever thought of sending them off to get graded, or are you not worried about that?
No, I'm not. I'm not really like. I enjoy a few slabbed comics as far as
Yeah,
something
yeah,
graded,
yeah,
but
yeah.
um, and I have Ron's R2D2 graded that he was
Okay.
selling. So
Yeah, yeah,
um, yeah. So I have a few pieces, but as far as me actively going to send something off, no.
yeah.
Even,
No?
in a lot of these toy shows now, those grading services are there as their own booth to accept submissions from
Wow.
people. So
Yeah,
it's really easier than ever to send something off like that. I know
yeah,
Jeff Barker's done that on several of the cool Star Wars figures that he's gotten, or
yeah,
GI Joes. But
yeah.
yeah, it's not really my jam. I don't know. I think
No, that's fair enough.
when you have
That's fair enough.
Andy, his story of losing a graded
Oh,
906
yeah, I
Jawa.
know, I know. I
Oh
I
god,
I even had a little cry that night after I spoke to him.
it was so
Before
horrible, and
you
to
did this
live it with
episode, yeah,
him, day by
yeah,
day for weeks, and for UPS to be like, I mean, we tracked it to this facility, and then poof,
yeah. It mysteriously disappeared.
mysteriously
It's insane,
disappeared, and we're
insane.
like, I bet it did.
Yeah, yeah. They knew. So when it comes to your mail away figures, was the Boba Fett figure the only one that you sent off for in the mail?
With Star Wars, yeah. I
Yeah,
did not do the nine nub or the Emperor or any of
yeah,
that. I think it's because, again, like we were talking earlier, your kid brain, you know, switches gears after a couple years.
yeah,
Um, so it was, yeah. Empire came out in '80, but then you had the drought between
yeah,
it and '83. So what filled that drought? Motu, Space Lego, and GI Joe.
yeah,
Joe was like, "Holy cow, they're posable." They
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
sit in a
yeah,
vehicle. All that.
yeah,
And so Joe rapidly filled that void as we moved into 82, 83. Um,
yeah. And did you like get many mail away Joe figures?
um, we would send off for like the little vehicles, not figures per se. Go
Oh,
figure.
okay.
You think
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
have like, oh no, saved up your flag points and
yeah.
get this and that. And it was more about like the oh crud, the manta, the surfboard with the gun, the
Oh god.
the
Oh, yeah,
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 which is hilarious.
yeah,
That kind of stuff.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. If they'd have done, if you'd have got like, say, like more mailaways from either Star Wars or from GI Joe, would you have treated them with the same kind of care and attention and kind of like respect that you did with Boba Fett, or was it just that particular character that meant a lot to you?
I think that was like a very special, unique moment. Not
Yeah,
knowing who this guy is,
yeah,
the weight, just this mysteriousness
yeah,
just added to the allure, and his kind of high place of honor within the Star Wars toys that you did play with.
yeah,
uh, Whereas, say GI Joe, well, you're watching the cartoon, maybe even reading a comic, and so
yeah,
these characters, you're like, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Sergeant Slaughter, yeah, he's on
Yeah,
TV. I just watched an
yeah,
episode. You know,
yeah. Just quickly before we go, because we're getting to the top of the hour, do you think those kind of um sort of like moments can be replicated with, like, say, you and your mail away? Because pre-orders, there's pre-orders and stuff like that. I mean, and other things
oof,
that we do spend our money on these days that take maybe a year or so to get them, without naming any names
no,
of what those things are. But I mean, do you think that it kind of like that kind of moment that was created with you waiting that 6 weeks? I mean, crikey, 6 weeks is a lifetime then, but it's next to no time these days as to
right.
what we're waiting for certain pre-orders to come through and certain bits and bobs. So do you think that can be
I
recreated with things like that, or not really?
I I think there is something about that mystique again, of
Yeah,
having to wait this inordinate time, and a lot of times, even through COVID, stuff was like, oh well, it's delayed, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
cry out loud. Um,
yeah,
I don't. I try. I backed the Origins Eternia Mattel
yep,
Creations thing. Um, am I a big fan of all that? I mean, that's a topic I think we've talked about many times.
yeah,
We all talk
yeah,
about it,
yeah, yeah,
whether it's value or not, and I think it's one of those. It's like you can say what you want about it, but when it's that particular product and it makes your heart sing, you're like, "Yep, I'm
yeah.
getting it."
Yeah, no, I get that, but I just think now
But
it's really weird because you looked upon Boba Fett with young eyes. We're now
yeah,
looking upon things with adult
old,
eyes.
old. Let
I
me
I
look
wouldn't have
upon you with
dreamed of
my
getting that Boba
old
Fett, opening
eyes.
them up and going, "Shite paint apps. Oh, what a load of rubbish." You know what I mean? We wait
Yeah,
a year for something now, or months and months for it to come through. Paint apps are rubbish, innit? Do you know what I mean?
you're
It's
like,
it's so
yeah, like,
weird.
what do you mean giant blocks of cheese that just plug onto the main hull of the
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
What?
But as a kid,
There's
you would have been, like, blown away by that. Would you do you
yeah,
know
if
what I
you
mean? It's really weird how you look at things as you get older.
definitely for those, and I still have maybe misplaced hope, and I don't um the HasLab type stuff, like they will switch maybe back to that, like, you just pie in the sky, you never ever ever had it, like it's
Yeah.
just so ridiculous. I'm talking about you, Echo base playset. That's what I that's what I really want. I want just a mega Echo base
Yeah,
playset,
yeah,
big enough to park the Millennium Falcon in, and a snow
yeah,
speeder and tauntauns. I mean, the med bay, the trenches out front. Come on.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just one last thing on Boba Fett. He was a mail away. You felt like king of the world because you got this figure that you didn't know much about.
Hmm.
He was cool, he looked awesome, and you thought, "Well, we're gonna be the only ones that get him. You can only get him mail away." And
That's
then
super hard to find.
they come out on card. I mean, did
He's
that
on.
sort of like devalue that figure for you and that feeling, or not really?
I think again because kid brain, you're like, okay, all right, cool. He's on card. Moving on. What's the new
Yeah.
hotness? You know,
Adult brain, it's like, "Oh, man,
yeah. What?
they've just what's
What?
going on? He was supposed to be unique. He was supposed to be special. He was
Have you
supposed to be
seen
a
what the
one-off."
solds have dropped to
Yeah,
now?
yeah. Yeah. That's why I like talking about this sort of thing, because you look at it through kids' eyes and how you were, and we remember those moments. I think it's very difficult to replicate those kind of moments these days, or to get those
It's
feelings
tricky.
back.
Yeah.
It is, because you get that nostalgia buzz and you get that nostalgia feeling, but I don't think that you'll ever kind of I don't think you'll ever get that feeling as a kid again, when you the excitement, because you weren't worried about anything else. The figure was there, it
No,
was
it was
great,
just
you know?
all about
Yeah,
yes. You're like,
absolutely.
I'm gonna put him on my shelf and you know maybe leave my reading light on, and he's up there like, oh, what's he up to up
Yeah. I mean, he is well looked after, I've got to say. I'm really impressed with that. I mean, he's looks absolutely immaculate for over 40 odd years old.
there? Oh yeah.
Awesome stuff. Pete, that was your last item, I've got to say
It
I've
was.
thoroughly enjoyed this because, like I say, I normally get like slides so I can look at them and think, "Oh yeah, okay, this is what we're gonna be talking about." I had absolutely no idea, and I've loved that. I think that's been absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for jumping on and taking part in this.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's awesome, awesome. It's always good to talk to you. Talk to you.
Right
What
back
I
at you,
mean, what
sir.
have you got coming up? What you got coming up?
Let's see. Yeah, we're kind of we just had the big video drop for the Great Ohio Toy Show from
Yeah,
last weekend
yeah,
on
yeah,
Chasing 80s.
yeah.
And then it's we're starting already because we're in the Midwest. We're prepping for the winter that could happen at any minute. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Yeah,
high of 70 degrees, suddenly snow tomorrow.
yeah,
You just never know. Um, so indoor toy shows, those will be popping up. Um,
yeah,
Kind of like
yeah.
December and January. So
Wow. Awesome
we're
stuff.
going to a toy show. We're actually selling at a little pop-up toy show tomorrow,
Oh,
um,
okay. Cool.
which is cool and always fun
Yeah.
because again, it's you get to know a lot of the other people who
Yeah.
are in the
Yeah, yeah,
hobby
yeah.
and selling
Yeah.
and am I selling off vintage? No, I'm selling off Power of the Force 2 ships and retro
Okay.
carded
Yeah, yeah.
Star Wars figures and whatnot. That modern stuff that I'm like I don't have that
Connection to.
yeah, that big
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
connection to. And it's
Yeah.
like, you know what, if somebody else is and they're like, "Oh my gosh," be like, "Job done."
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Someone else will enjoy it for
And
sure.
then to be able to
Um,
hunt.
yeah, yeah, yeah. More pennies for me to go
More.
and yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media, my friend?
I'm on Instagram, Scuba Pete V,
Yep,
and you can find us also on the Scuba's YouTube channel, although we haven't
yep.
dropped anything since like England last year, so we've been remiss on that. But Leslie, God bless her, she's been hard at work, a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
work. Actually, I've been a lot of
yeah,
work. That's why I haven't been around as much.
yeah.
Regular life, just kind of 2025, a weird year, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'll do is I'll put your links to your social media platforms in the description below. We can also find you on Chasing 80s, can't we, as well?
You
So what I'm
can
going to do is
share
I'm
with
going to just leave the
yeah,
link in the description below to
por
Chasing 80s as
favor.
well. Because yeah,
Yes,
absolutely,
with Mr.
absolutely.
Miwa and Jeff Barker. Yeah,
Well, Scoob, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, mate. I've really enjoyed tonight, and
same
it's been
man. Oh, it's
great
been
not
great.
knowing. It's been
I've been
great not
looking
knowing.
forward to this all day.
Awesome, awesome. And for those of you at home who I'll get my bloody words out in a minute. For those of you at home who have stayed and watched till the end or listened to the end, thank you very much. It does mean a lot. Take care, stay safe, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.
See ya.